Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan, and today we're going to react to a video from Blakely. Uh, it's the haircut. What do you want from me? But before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out. Donate. Do it now. Share them. Do it. It's not for me, by the way. It's for other people. Do it. I mean, it's a scam. I made 30 different accounts to steal money from people. Yeah, anyways, donate. Do it now. All right, so I have not seen this yet. Name of the video is Bush-era neocons shake hands with MAGA. Maybe that's what that means, or they're in alignment with MAGA. The title off rep. I absolutely agree. I've been saying that. I mean, here's what I was saying back in what was it, like 2016-ish when he got elected, right? Where I said this. I'm like, hey man, I understand why a lot of these people supported Donald Trump, right? Like why people were supporting. I got it. I understood the whole October surprise thing with WikiLeaks and all that. The fucking numerous videos about Hillary Clinton from mainstream to conspiracy level. All of it is just negative about this terrible fucking politician named Hillary Rodham Clinton. So I understood where it's either people like, I'll just take a chance with Trump, or maybe he's a good guy, or Trump is the good guy. Look what he said. He said he loves WikiLeaks. Look at that. He's a good guy. Whatever their reason was, I understood. Didn't say not going to say I agreed with it. I'll say I understand. I understand. But then he actually became president. They did the inauguration and all that. And then he started wheeling and dealing, right? And even if you didn't catch the, killing U.S. American child overseas, even if that didn't get your attention, the serial one had to have. To where, like, okay, here's your IQ test. Has he provided evidence? No, he hasn't. Is he saying the same rhetoric that, let's say, a neocon like George W. Bush or let's be real, neocon light like Barack Obama would do, like, look, this guy's killing kids, he's killing babies. Oh, where's the evidence? Don't worry about that. Just remember, think about the babies. Think about the babies. Oh, right. And then he's like, so in response to that, we're gonna shoot 50-something fucking missiles at them. That should have been the opening salvo. Okay, this guy's full of shit. What do we do now? He bombs countries, foments war with no evidence, without providing any evidence to us. They just say it. Then they try to provide evidence weeks later, right? That they failed at that too. So it's like, okay, that should be your fucking coming to Christ moment. Pause. Or it's like, okay, this guy's full of shit. He's just a neocon. Got it. Look at all the people he fucking hired in his cabinet. That should have been a sign too, to be real with you. But they were like, oh, he can just control them. Well, guess what? They're apparently controlling him. And they did it for 4 years, and yet, to this day now, motherfuckers are saying, like, oh no, he just got tricked by them. It wasn't his plan to do that. He got tricked by them. Trump needs to start using his better instincts. Like, what the fuck does that mean? His better instincts is to listen to whatever the fuck a General A or General B says to do. The neocons that he hires. That's his instinct, is to listen to whatever neocons he's hired. Which makes him what? A fucking neocon. Duh. But people just refuse to do that. They always want to view him separate for some reason. But anyways, let's get to the video. Let's hear Blakely's explanation of Bush-era neocons maybe teaming or in line with MAGA. There we go.
Anybody that is watching what is going on with Mahmoud Khalil, I really want you to pay attention to the way that specifically conservatives are talking about him and his case in the media. Because you'll notice that a lot of those people have since disowned the positions of the neocons in the Bush administration who were fanatical lunatics pushing the war on terror and the hysterical attacks on Muslims and Arabs after 9/11. People look back on that and go, that was insane. And right wingers go now, yeah, totally insane. Like, that was an insane war. The war on terror was crazy. The Patriot Act was nothing more than a power grab by the government. And really, what you're seeing now is MAGA resorting to what they always were, neocons. They were never anti war. They're full of shit. You literally had Tommy Tuberville, that moron who represents Alabama in the Senate, say, free speech is great. But
and we have a higher ed. We've got to treat both of them different. But when it comes to protesters, we got to make sure we treat all of them the same. Send them to jail. Free speech is great, but free speech is not what we need in these universities, and they don't need to be doing things that they're preaching from Hamas about anti-Semitism.
Hate speech is protected by the First.
That's interesting. I'm sure this guy was, oh, look at these transgender crying about hate speech, or look at all these minorities, or Black Lives Matter, or whatever fucking crying about hate speech on college campuses, huh? Fuck those guys. Free speech all the way. Like, the Ben Shapiro is probably the biggest, or the one that we've seen more recently, right? Where it's like obvious hypocrisy. But in my mind, I'm like, is that hypocrisy? Like, I already knew this guy's a liar, so like, he's keeping it consistent, in my opinion. Like, I will lie. I will lie. Just saying, like, these fools. Just blatantly full of shit. Blatantly full of shit. Now, when she says MAGA, I assume she means some of these big name influencers and Twitter checkmark motherfuckers and Laura Loomers, these motherfuckers, right? The regular person, it seems like they were mad about it. Like, they were upset about it. Like, wait a minute, I thought we're all about free speech. What happened? Like, nah, bro. There's a bigger plan, something bigger than you. You don't mean shit to these motherfuckers. And granted, I've said that, but people just don't believe me when I say it. It's crazy. Anyways, here we go.
To be doing things that they're preaching from Hamas about anti-Semitism.
Hate speech is protected by the First Amendment, actually. Anti-Semitism.
Fuck the First Amendment.
You guys, he was doing that segment defending cuts to education. Yeah, so fascism, and really stupid fascism, defending cuts to education while talking about anti-Semitism. Also a reminder that they're just lying. Like, this student and none of those students were engaged in hate speech. None of them. They were all protesting against the genocide in Gaza. There was a bunch of Jewish students today who protested and occupied Trump's hotel in New York. So you're going to say, oh, those people are anti-Semitic? All those Jewish people?
Yeah.
You're going to try to take away their free speech rights? I just think it's interesting. Just watch what Republicans are saying about free speech now. Because they all of them, all the grifters who made a lot of money off pretending to be pro-free speech are being revealed to be the frauds that they always were and going back to their neocon roots. Because every single one of them, attacking Mahmoud Khalil, attacking his First Amendment rights, and calling on him for him to be deported, are exactly like the hysterical neocons after 9/11. Literally no different. So keep your eye out for that. And also understand that MAGA's full of shit. None of them ever actually were anti-war. And that is why, by and large, with the exception of very few people, they are cheering this. They are cheering this war on terror 2.0. And they're cheering even locking up American citizens who are protesting against this. This is the exact same shit we called and said this would happen. It's funny because not only...
Now, yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of predictable. For sure. And, you know, I would understand the reason of calling it War on Terror 2.0, but it's just a continuation of Obama, which was a continuation of Bush. Like, the War on Terror has never stopped. I made a video, like, kind of yelling about this, where it's like, this War on Terror, there's no bounds to it. There's no limits to it. It's like she said, and I agree with, like, it's used to get to try to fucking deport Mahmoud Khalil, right? It's used against other people. He's just a famous name that we're all hearing right now, but there's other people that this is happening to. There's Americans it's happening to. Fear of detention, expulsion from schools. Yeah. And the way I hear Trump talking about it, he sounds proud of it. And the people that are loyal to him, because let's be real, they knew the real game going in. Like, oh yeah, he's George W. Bush. It's his foreign policy style is George W. Bush. Like people don't realize that. That is his like. I've said it before. The guy that was on Tim Pool, I forgot his name, like Sean Marks or some shit like that. Some ex-army guy was like, "Yo, Trump is doing exactly what we need, which is what Bush was trying to do. That Obama fucked up." Granted, Obama was still fighting the war on terror. He's just doing it a different way that these guys don't like. So it's like either way, no matter what way you slice it, you're getting the same shit over and over again. Maybe different flavors of the same problem, which is corruption, murder, shitting on their own citizens. That's what's been happening, seemingly for a very long time, past George W. Bush, like way back. It is what it is, and the thing with the Trump thing, it's like, man, it doesn't seem real that people would just turn their brains off. But I'm thinking I'm picking up on the game here. Yes, Trump was a thing at some point, but it's more of the mouthpieces that protect him. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling these guys, the way they excuse things or say this guy has a blind spot. Trump just has a blind spot. Oh, Trump's listening to the wrong people. He needs to follow his best instincts. Like, those are things that make it sound like no corrupt shit is happening. Like, he's like, oops, I bombed Afghanistan. Oops. Oops, I bombed Yemen. Oops, my bad. Oops, I was walking down the street and $20 billion spilled out of my pocket right into Israel. Fuck, it was by accident. I didn't mean to do that. People gave Obama that same excuse. In regards to like Afghanistan and all that shit. Oh, it's a blind spot for Obama. You know, he doesn't know how to handle this wartime shit, so he ends up just expanding it and bombing more. It's crazy. Like, Obama drone bombed more than Bush. Trump drone bombed more than Obama. It's like in a row. It's like, how is that considered a coincidence at all? Is mind-wrecking to me. It's clearly a part of the thing, a part of the quote-unquote plan. Not to sound too conspiratorial about it, but the evidence is what it is. It's right in our faces. But, all right, let's let Blakely keep going here. Here we go.
Shit, we called and said this would happen. It's funny because not only are they really immoral, they're also stupid because it's like, you don't think
immoral,
that this can't and won't happen to you? It actually did happen to some right-wingers who got swept up in the January 6th convictions. What if Trump hadn't won and all of them weren't pardoned? There were people that the government charged with terrorism, domestic terrorism, that were on the right. So maybe you idiots should be...
That Trump said, oh, arrest him. He is praised for the arrest of these fools. But of course, the Trump fan would excuse it as he's playing 5D chess. He's going along with the system so that he could fight it later. Like, okay. I think that's batshit crazy, but who am I? I'm just watching more bombs being dropped, more corruption happening. That's all I'm seeing. Fuck. I can't speak for anyone else. Maybe they see more into the plan. They see more of the light than I do. But, yeah, here we go.
There were people that the government charged with terrorism, domestic terrorism, that were on the right. So maybe you idiots should be careful what you wish for. I said this on Twitter Spaces last night, and I will say it again here. I, as an American, will not be giving up my free speech rights for anyone. And I certainly won't be giving them up for the Israeli regime.
Oh, damn. She meant it.
For anyone.
Thank you, Joan Jett. It's the haircut. I just gotta make fun. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I basically agree with her for the most part. I'd probably have to argue with her to really like, okay, what exactly do you mean by these statements, or maybe something like a prediction of what you think will happen or whatever would give me more insight into where you're coming from, because in this world, for what I've noticed in the realm of politics, there's a lot of fuckery. and a lot of fuckery coming from, like, we already know about the guys in suits and the ladies in suits on the big TVs telling us why we need to bomb someplace. We all understand that, I hope. We understand that bullshit. If you're watching this, I hope you understand. But the content creators, that's where I'm like, that's where the juice is made, bro. How else do you get a bunch of 14-year-olds to be like, yeah, go Trump, yeah, deport him, yeah? Where else does that happen at other than some rat-like gamer who is telling us we should deport people who don't like our Western values from some gamer with cheese doodle stains on his fucking face, some rat eyebrow dude. Like, that guy's telling Asmongold, I'm talking about Asmongold. If you want to Google, if you want to search him up, there's his name, Asmongold. He's a rat and a fuckface. Yeah, if you like, those are more of the influencers, I think, because if they get their news from Asmon fucking Gold, from Rat Boy himself, you're only gonna get certain perspectives, bro. And I never even viewed him as like a right wing. I'm like, damn, he's going hard into this. But then again, I'm thinking about, oh, you can make money doing that. You can make money jumping on the MAGA train and keeping it very cursory. You don't go in depth on stories. You just keep it on the surface about, how fun or how awesome the times are and what Trump's doing. Like, damn, Trump don't give a fuck. Like, leave that as like a title or something. Trump's the man. Trump fucks him up but don't care. Or whatever the fuck, right? And then you just ignore all the problems. It's easy money, man. Tim Pool, he's made his living off of that, bro. He's now a multi-millionaire because of the grifting. So, and it's just like, you look at this, and guys like Jimmy Dore just forgot. He just didn't realize that Timmy Pool is right next door to him, screaming, let's be real, cringy shit. But then again, I feel like Jimmy was doing it until Trump got elected. Now it's like, oh, now I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. I had some hope. I haven't lost all of it yet, but it's not looking good. It's like, no shit, Jimmy. Jimmy's 8 years late on everything. I'm gonna be doing a video where I get a long form version of a Jimmy Dore interview, and I'm curious because it's long form. He has to answer questions more detailed, and it might give me some insight on what the fuck this guy, like, why. But that's later. For now, okay. There's a video from Blakely. It's all right. Nothing, like, for me. Once again, I knew it all. I knew all this shit already. But okay, it's interesting to hear someone that maybe agrees, maybe not. The choice is hers. Yeah. I don't care about my reputation. All right. There's your video. Please subscribe if you like. Comment, agree, disagree. Shout out to Ronda Rousey and her walkout music. Crimson and Clover. Don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out. Donate if you feel like. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.